Hi, folks. So, I have been reading this book called Atomic Habits. You guys have probably heard of it, it's very popular. And I just want to make a video as someone who was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 10, who sometimes wonders if they are on the spectrum and they have not caught that yet. I wanted to kind of give my perspective from that angle because there's a lot of things in here that have resonated with me as I try to move into this season of basically uneffing my life. Um, I'm going to be 31 in December, and there's a lot of milestones that I'm really happy that I accomplished this year, but there's also just this sense that there just hasn't been something that clicked fully. I'm still trying to get in the habit of being good about cleaning, being good about organizing, being good about budgeting, being good about just having my life together. And I'm slowly working through this book. I'm only at the beginning, but I think as I keep encountering things that I think are really interesting, things that I want to keep speaking on, I would like to kind of make little videos about them. So this is the first big one that really resonated with me. Um, so let's talk about identity, for example. Um, One of the main points that the author hits on at the beginning of this book is the issue of identity. If you consider yourself to be, for example, if you want to lose weight and you consider yourself to be a lazy person who just needs to get off of their butt and go to the gym, the adherence is not going to be good because the thing that you're trying to accomplish and maintain is out of alignment with your identity. So, for example, they'll say, like, okay, well, instead of saying, maybe like if you want to get better at directions, just say, don't keep telling yourself that you're terrible with directions. If you want to wake up earlier, start telling yourself that you're a morning person. Don't say that I'm not a morning person who just happened to get up on at 7 a.m. And this really struck a chord with me. And the reason why is because I realized that identity is a huge part of why I'm having such a hard time crawling out of certain holes. Um, I think anyone who is neurodivergent, had ADHD, or any kind of learning difference that resulted in things that were not, or resulted in byproducts that were not seen as advantageous by the world at large, you'll kind of know what I'm talking about here. Um, Having inattentive ADHD growing up, I always had a lot of issues with organization, or at least organizing in the way that people wanted me to organize things, right? School is very much about conformity and forcing kids to fit into boxes that just don't work for them, right? Everything was about organizing. Everything was about getting things in on time. Everything was about getting up at the right time, getting into school at the right time, um, organizing your essay a certain way. You see all the kids around you and you wonder, like, why can't I be that organized? Why am I not like that? And when you realize that you may not 100% be able to fit in and adhere to these really strict standards of how people think things should be organized, you start to rebel against it. You said, okay, well, I can't find an identity in this clearly, or I'm not really being given the space to embody what organization and, you know, having my life together means for me. I'm just going to go in the opposite direction and say, I'm a messy person. I'm not a morning person. I'm a lazy person. I'm a type B. I mean, I'll always probably be kind of a type B, but I think it's really easy when you were rejected for not being able to fit certain societal standards. And a lot of neurodivergent people fit societal standards perfectly, right? They become the numbers guy, they become the spreadsheet guy, they become the tech guy, they become the reading guy, they become the historian, right? Not all of us fit into those neat little brackets, right? So um, I realized that, especially now, and really kind of seeing this concept on paper, the concept of identity and aligning identity with what it is that you want to embody in your day to day practices, I'm realizing that I am engaging often in forms of what you could call self harm, not literal physical self harm. Well, that too, actually. Um, Not in the form of what you would typically think, but like fast food and bad eating habits, bad sleeping habits. That is all forms of slowly erosive self harm. Um, so I really had to examine that. And it's tricky, right? Because when you are brought up in a set system, it's really hard to find your own groove and your own form of organization, and figuring out what that means for you and how that benefits you. Because when you're growing up, the only reason that you're doing these organizational steps and things is to please other people, right? And so then as you go into adulthood, you start to think like, okay, well, if I clean my room, or if I clean my house every single Saturday and I keep everything neat and I keep everything in its place, what am I telling myself? Am I telling myself that I am conforming to the man? Am I telling myself that I'm giving up and I'm conforming to society's standards, right? What does that mean? Does cleanliness mean conformity? Does getting up at, you know, 6 a.m., 3 to 4 days a week to go to the gym, is that a form of conformity? Am I conforming? Am I giving up? Were they right all along? Are these people that harm me, were their ways and their, ways of thinking, like, were they actually right and I was wrong this whole time? Like, basically, it's kind of the struggle of rejection transmuting into almost contrarianism, silent contrarianism. And I'm really struggling with that because I'm realizing that physically it's not really that hard to get up and sweep a corner of the room or mop or do the dishes in a timely manner. It's more so that it's clashing up against this anti-identity that I built against the ways in which I have been constrained into a box. So I say, okay, I don't want to fit any metric. If there's any metric that aligns with what society considers good and acceptable, I want to do the opposite of that. So that's hard. It's a tough realization that you come to. Um, so I'm gonna keep reading, seeing how he delves into this topic. Um, it's definitely been an eye opener. And I don't know. I think I've just always have had the spirit of a mule, like I don't like to do things unless I've been given a good reason to. And I think as a kid, when you are forced to do things without good reason, you start to resent that. And then you just get into this box where you go on and you're like, I never really figured out what my reason was for doing this. So I think, kind of to wrap this up, I'm trying to get comfortable with the overlap, and I'm trying to say to myself, by cleaning your room, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for society. You're not conforming. You aren't giving up. You aren't giving up who you are. I'm trying to find that balance. If anything, the only solace that I try to give myself as training wheels is that even my most organized is still going to look a little all over the place to the average person, right? I like that messy look. Like I like having plants in random places. I like when nothing is matching. That's kind of my thing. Again, that could be a contrarian byproduct. But I'm like, okay, Jordan, well, if you could just designate this as a cleaning day, you don't have to have color coded drawers or anything crazy like that. Trying to kind of acquaint myself and depair that with the perceived danger that I'm attaching to it from childhood. So, yeah, this is going to be a journey. It's not going to be easy, it's not going to be linear, but I thought that if anyone was watching this and felt like that you could identify, tap in, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, because I have a feeling that a lot of people can relate to this issue. And if we all stick together, hopefully we can overcome it. So, without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Heck, if you want to read this book with me, let's do it. I'm on page 35 right now. So, hey, we're trying to slowly but surely get through it. That's another thing. Being a reader. I need to tell myself, you're a reader, Jordan. And I was a reader before social media. That's another topic for another day. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you identified, and I hope you found solace in this. And we're in this together, guys. Ciao.